Welcome, everyone, to our very special Wednesday session. We have Jean-Louis Fargier from France joining us, and Jean-Louis is the founder of Biomusic One. And something fun and interesting is that Kathleen and I met Jean-Louis back in 2014 when Kathleen spoke at I think it's called the World Reiki Congress in Evian, France. And he was just kind of starting around that time with Biomusic One. I mean, he had CDs and he was doing his thing. But we were so impressed with him and what his music was offering. And Jean-Louis generously gave me a CD, and I think it was the Chimera CD, the first one, Jean-Louis. And I played it for my dogs. And then, of course, it was CD, and then it got old and I forgot all about it. And then just, I don't know, like 3 years ago, Jean-Louis, we got back together. And I'm so excited because this music is really powerful. And I'll let him talk to you about it, but I just want to share a little bit about him. So, Jean-Louis is a singer-songwriter. He's an artist and researcher and an international speaker. He specializes in the impact of sound vibrations on living beings. He is the co-creator of Biomusic One, a vibrational process integrated into original musical productions. He's the founder of Loriana Music Label. He's the author, composer, and producer of Biomusic One Music and has led more than 700 conferences, workshops, and events focused on stress relief, well-being, and conscious listening. And I'm so excited to have you back, Jean-Louis. It's always such a fun experience when you come.
Thank you very much, Lee. Thank you very much for having me one more time. It's a real pleasure, and I really enjoy doing sessions with SARA and all SARA members. It's great. I love
Yeah.
animals. You know why we have a cat at the moment who gave birth to four little kittens, and they're probably I don't know, but my feeling is that they're probably the first cats to be born with Biomusic One and have Biomusic One ever since. They're in the living room growing up. They're 3 weeks and they started to move out. So it's quite amazing. It's a good experience for us. We're enjoying it very much.
Are they really calm? Are they like super calm because they're getting this music?
They, uh, they play. They started to play with each other now, um, and they have a very regular, I've noticed, pattern. They sleep, they eat, they play. They sleep, they eat, they play, and it goes on and on. And the cat is really, really good mother. She's really looking after them, and she's so caring, and she's so nice with us. She's really nice. She's very, um, what do you call it, Calais. She loves being with you, with humans, and she trusts us 100% with the kitten. So it's great. It's a really good experience. So we're gonna make sure on 14th of July because we have our Independence Day as well in France. So I sympathize a lot with the trauma we can go through. You can go through during Independence Day in the USA because it's the same in France. With Revolution Day, everybody does fireworks. Well, no, not everybody, but people, every town has their own fireworks, and so it's very noisy. But to tell you the truth, probably the worst place must be in England, in London. I was living in London for over 35 years, and there's a one day which is called Guy Fawkes. That was the name of a guy who wanted to blow up the Parliament. He didn't succeed, and so they celebrate that failing every year. And but the difference is this, that practically, I mean, vast majority of people do have their own fireworks in their back gardens. So I don't know if you can imagine what it's like, one after the other, doing their own fireworks for the whole night. Well, at least from what I can recall, it started at 9 and ended up until sometimes 8 p.m. because it's dark, and very often until midnight, 1 o'clock. So, and you can hear fireworks non-stop. It's unbelievable. So that night, we're fully aware of what kind of trauma animals can go through. And so hopefully, the sequence we worked on with Robert, the audio sequence we worked on for you guys, is going to do the trick. And I know the albums do it, but this sequence is really tuned in to help in moments of higher trauma. You know, we can do some. We don't do it a lot, but we do it mainly through the Biomusic One club, which we run mainly in French language at the moment, but we might start one in English and one in Spanish in the autumn. And it's a way of for us it's a way of creating audio sequences that are complementary to the albums, and we offer that club. It's free. People can come so they can actually go much deeper into understanding how Biomusic One can help them, and from then on they use their album in a much conscious way. So it's really win-win for everyone, because for us it's very important that people don't buy an album and then put it in the forget it or put it in the cupboard, or don't use it when it's really useful. You know, very often when people go through a difficult period, of course they forget they have Biomusic One to help them, because the mind is so caught up by the stress of the moment that it switches off from anything that could help it. So, and it's at that time really that Biomusic can be really helpful. So we have created a page for you, and it won't be available immediately, but we'll make sure it is for the 4th of July, so that you can, and if for any reason it was not, there will still be the replay for you to benefit from the sequence we're going to play tonight. So I hope you have all your animal friends with you. Has everybody thought about this? Great. Okay. And who doesn't know Biomusic One yet? Who hasn't been in one of our Wednesday session yet? How many of you? You may want to use the chat like this. I can have a better picture of. I love to see all those names: Ohio, Boston, Tucson, Arizona. I'm dreaming of coming to the States, so I'm waiting for Mr. T to go away so we can come one day. Okay, we're not going to go into that, of course. Great. All right. So there's a few people, a few of you are new here. So what I'm going to do, a quick introduction on Biomusic One, because I really want to go through the sequence with you tonight. It really is a special experience. The sequence is quite long, nearly 40 minutes, so you need to sit down comfortably. If you want to use headphones, it's great. Your animal friend will pick up on the vibes. No worries about this. It's better to immerse yourself with a headphone. If you don't have headphones, no problem, as long as you have a good sound system to really listen to the music and bath into the music. It works as well when it's in inaudible mode, but in this instant it's better to really feel the immersion inside the music. And the idea is to totally let go. It's very easy to let go. All you need to do is observe what's happening within you. Okay? You will hear the music. Don't worry about whether you like it or not. This has absolutely no importance at all. The most important thing is to listen to the music, and at the same time listen to your body while you're listening to the music. And so you will notice that things happen, whether it's at the physical level, emotional, psychological. It could be also very subtle. The body has this intelligent way of liberating stress. It uses normally two different ways. Either you need to be aware of what you are liberating, and it will be obvious what is liberated while you're listening to the music. It could be, for example, a trauma from the past. It could be an accident, a part in the body where you had an accident, or something emotional, or a moment in your life that pops back in your consciousness, and you let it go. It could be many different things that your body. When I say body, is body, mind, spirit, but that your body believes it's better if you are aware of what you are liberating. But sometimes we need to liberate things that have affected us at different moments in our lives, and it would be counterproductive to actually uh, remembering where it's coming from, and therefore the Buddha uses kind of like abstract way of liberating. It could be colors, it could be um, visions, it could be geometric form, it could be any kind of things, you know, it could be things that you feel in the body, it could be sensation as well, weird sensation that you feel happening in your body when in fact they're happening at very subtle levels, and we feel that it's happening at the physical level, but it's not. For example, quite often we've heard people saying, oh, I felt like my heart was beating 100 beats per minute, so 120 beats per minute. And in fact, Biomusic One is recognized as a regulator of tachycardia, so it really regulates the heartbeat. If you feel that kind of thing, it's simply because at subtle level, rebalancing occurs. It feels funny at the physical level, but once the information is liberated and the reharmonization has occurred, then you're going to feel really nice. It's going to be, you're going to feel lighter and a better well-being where you felt some kind of discomfort. I'm only explaining this just in case you feel discomfort. It doesn't have to be. It could be very pleasant as well. But I'm explaining all this because it's important to not worry about what you're going to be going through. Your body always is a master in this. He knows exactly what he's doing, what it's liberating, and he has full control of this. You don't have to worry about it. And you see, I've done it for 15 years, and as Leah said, over 700 workshops around the world. No one has ever been to hospital or anything like that or felt bad. So trust your body. It will definitely use that time you're giving to yourself to liberate the maximum you can. And the same for your animal friends. So let's look forward to that. I'm just going to give a couple of explanations about Biomusic One. Basically, we could say that I'm going to share my screen. I think it's going to be much better if we do that. Like this, I will show you something very quickly. Oh, so that, and see if I can share my screen very quickly. I'm not going to be long because it's important we experiment and we exchange after experimenting. But there you go. I'm sorry. Do you see my screen? And you should see my screen with the website of Biomusic One. Okay, so it shows very simply that we call it a vibrational architecture. Basically, it's a wellness process. It's a frequency process that is incorporated in all our music productions.
Jean-Louis, Jean-Louis, could you make it just a little bit larger?
Is it not
I don't know. I don't know if for anybody
a bit
else.
more? Is
Yeah, a
it
little
so
bit.
too small?
A little bit. It's well, we can't
Oh,
read the
I'm on full
text,
screen here.
see the photos. Yeah.
Oh, don't worry if you cannot read the text. I don't think it matters
Okay.
if you can read the text, the text, because I'm going to go through it very quickly. It's just to show that this is biomusicone.com. There's a lot of information. You can go and look at it whenever you want. But the most important thing to understand is that beyond music, there are sound waveforms that spread through water in the air, water in the body, and will have a rebalancing effect. First of all, it has a rebalancing effect because it restructures water, and at the same time, it has a protecting effect because we protect against all forms of stress. And because of this, the body can feel a change of state when my music plays. And instead of fighting against stress, whenever you are worried about the situation or or, or there is an external stress factor in your environment, your body is simply constantly fighting against that. But when you bath into Biomusic One music, this is neutralized. So your body can feel it, and instead of fighting stress, it regains all its capabilities to actually manage itself. And what it's going to do is going to release all the accumulated stress according to its priorities, okay, and capabilities, of course. So there are aspects of our life that can be liberated, changed very quickly, and other aspects of our life that takes a bit more time. And this is because maybe some kind of stress is so um, what do you call it, grounded inside us. It's been nourished for so long that it takes time to be totally released, you know. But so everyone goes through this in its own way. There is a page dedicated to what Biomusic One does, and we can see very clearly that all oxidative stress is released with just a few minutes of listening to the music. And there are lots of different ways of observing how the process is acting at the physical level.
Jean-Louis,
And especially
Jean-Louis,
with, I was talking about the heart.
Jean-Louis, I'm so sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt. You're starting to break up a little bit.
I'm starting to what?
Break up, like cut out, like the connection isn't good.
Ah, okay, okay. We had a thunderstorm, but normally it shouldn't affect us because it's finished. Um, or maybe I speak too
Just
fast.
occasionally it goes
In,
crackle and then
in
we
that,
can't understand what you're saying.
okay, in that case, what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop sharing. Uh, because what is probably happening is by sharing the screen and talking at the same time, the bandwidth may be affected. We had a very strong thunderstorm earlier this afternoon, and it's possible that the relay in the mountain may have been affected. I'm not too sure. I hope it is not going to affect the listening of the music. I will cut my video to make sure we have proper music playing. Okay, I'm not going into more explanation in that case. And what we're going to do is, you have the, I'll put on the, I'm going to put just on the chat the link.
Thank you.
Okay, and like this, feel free to browse this at your own time. And in due course, we will give you access as well to a special page we created for SARA. But the most important thing is to live the experience tonight. So let me come back to, and if any one of you who do not know Biomusic One at all wish to write to me or send me any questions about or anything that you would like to have more clarification by Biomusic One, please don't hesitate. Through the contact form on the website, you reach me directly, and I will be really reactive to respond to your queries. Okay. All right. Well then, let's move on to the experience now. I think that would be the best thing to do. So, as I was saying, the key word is letting go. Observe what's happening inside me, not trying to remember, control, or analyze anything is not important at all. We have a first internal recognition of what happens while we're listening to the music, and after the music has finished, we will use the chat to actually write down what we feel is as really seems to be important to us. What is the most important thing that happened to you that you want to recognize? And this is a way of going further in accompanying the liberating and reharmonizing process. And of course, I'd invite you, it's better to leave it eyes closed, but feel free to open your eyes whenever you want if you want to look at how your animal friends are behaving or how they go through the experience. Of course, feel free to do that. But really, it's a journey, so I'll invite you to live the journey completely. Okay, do you have any question at all regarding going through the listening session? Brilliant. Okay. Great. Oh, Leah, the fan, if you hear a fan from me, it's a fan of the computer, and it's true it's hot, so it might be a bit noisy. That could be the thing. Okay, I cannot prevent this unfortunately, but when I will share the sound from the computer, it should disappear. All right, here we go. I invite you to sit down comfortably if you haven't done yet, and just close your eyes. Make sure you're not being disturbed by anyone that is not yet in the room, and you can pay attention to your breathing just for a few seconds and then forget about it. It's a good way of letting go. And I invite you to say inside yourself, mentally and consciously, you could say I am, and then say your first name. For example, I am Jean-Louis. If I say it consciously, it's a very good way, very simple, very efficient way to reconnect to myself and be on my identity in my space-time. Okay? So I invite you to do that, and then when I feel that you're all ready, I will start the sequence. There will be a couple of seconds between each track. It's on purpose, and nothing else to say. Just wish you to have a lovely listening session, and then we'll see after that how it has worked out for everybody. Okay, I'm going to cut my video, and I'm going to share the audio. And I wish you a lovely listening session. you to take time to come back to yourself, and if you have leave this really inside, you know, and whenever you feel like it, open your eyes and use a chat to express what is important for you to express. You will forget about it after that. The most important thing is to just exteriorize the experience, and then you will forget about it. This is only useful as an exercise to recognize what has happened, not to analyze it or anything. The body does the rest. We had some little exchanges. I'm going to let you write down whatever you think is important for you in the chat. And then I will rebound on some of the comments, if not to analyze or anything or give sense to anything, but to give points of reference to better understand how you can really let the support of Biomusic One help you. We had a quick exchange with Kimberly, and I'll give you my feedback very quickly, Kimberly, because it's not often that this happens. When it happens, I give the feedback. But when you shared what happened to your dog, to your grand champion dog, and I read it, it felt to me, when I say my body is like, when I have an information that is, and it's not just me, it could be anybody really, it's just because I'm practicing this all the time, but your body is like an instrument, and it can tell if an information is right or not, you know, which saves a lot of time and we should never use our mind to figure things out. Your body knows, your cells know, and they react. And when you wrote down the thing, I could tell immediately maybe it's like all the cells kind of like bubble and it expands. So I'm giving you the feedback because if you're aware, in my everyday life, when I become aware of the source of a problem or of something that creates rather a problem, the fact that I recognize the source of it is usually enough for the impact to be neutralized. Okay? This happens to all humans. You could do that as well. The more we practice living that way, the more practice being aware of how things interact with ourselves, feeling if it interacts in a positive or disturbing way, and then not trying to solve it mentally, but letting life inspire you to actually deal with it. This is the best way to actually open up to figuring out what is the source of the issue. And if you can do it for yourself, as you know, you are totally connected to your animal friends. If you can do it for yourself, you can do it for your animal friends. And so, if I don't want to create a false belief, but because of what happened in myself, otherwise I wouldn't say that. It seems to me that, yeah, definitely is a triggering event. It may not be the only one, but it's definitely a strong triggering event. Even when I say it now, it feels the same in my body. So, if you're aware of it, Kimberly, that's probably 75% of the issue is going to go. Just because you're aware of it, you will be a vector to release that stress. It's a natural phenomenon. It's not a magic thing. It's conscious. It's consciousness. Being aware of what is an issue dissolves the issue. Okay? And I'm talking at the energetic level, of course, vibrational level. So I invite you, Kimberly, to try that. I'm not asking you to believe this is what happened, but if you accept that this could well be the issue and go with it for now, I invite you to do that, and then observe your dog within the next few days and see also on the 4th of July if he behaves the same way or not. And I'll be very, very I can feel it so strongly that it even affects me emotionally, and normally I'm not like this, but my feeling is that it will definitely be resolved for your dog. And I invite you to give me a feedback. I'd be very, very interested to get your feedback, Kimberly. That's it for what I wanted to share with you. Another thing you can do, I recommended you Kinema, because Kinema is a very, very good album for all animals, really, to be at peace, to recognize themselves, to be at peace, to feel well without going very deeply into any trauma or anything they may have lived. It's really appeasing and rebalancing. So this is really a really good album to have. But in this instance, because I tuned to your dog, the album that came to me was I Love One. I Love One could be a really good album to accelerate the release of that trauma if being yourself aware of it is not sufficient. Right? I hope this is clear. I'm not sure if I
No,
explained.
thank you very much. I really appreciate it. One thing I didn't share is that, along with all the things that we've tried, he has a slow growing form of lymphoma. And so we know that lymphoma is deeply rooted in emotions. And so it is this problem that he has is like a loop in his head that he can't break. And I'm continuing to seek resolution for him because it is so hard, and I want him to live his best life.
Okay, I'll explain something else then, Kimberly. Thank you for your feedback. When you will understand, you will all understand better how Biomusic One works. When you try things out in bright material way, with a technique that is issued from research that is done within the matrix in which we live. I hope I'm not going to look like some extraterrestrial person with you, but if you try things like that, it works to an extent. Okay, you can try EFT, you can try lots of things like that, and it will work up to a certain extent. But if the root, the trigger event, if the root of the problem is not recognized, if the root information is still there, the trauma persists. Does that make sense? And it can only be released through conscious realization or transmutation through a process. And Biomusic One is one of those processes. And why does it work? It's because, let's say, the aspiration that has given birth to Biomusic One, has incarnated Biomusic One through music, comes from, let's say, recognition of information that is beyond the matrix in which we live. So it does have an impact really on the source of the problem without us having to try to deal with it in a mechanical way, if I could say. Does that make sense? And that's why it works with biomusic. It's quite amazing. I heard the other day, it was a woman in a congress, and for 40 years she had a pain in the back, at the bottom of her back, and this was after an accident at work. So it was a physical accident at work, but as you know, sometimes we have a physical accident that is just triggered by something else, but on the moment we don't know. And for 40 years she lived with that pain, more or less strong, depending on the days and the weeks. She came to a workshop, we played the sequence, 6 titles, it disappeared. I stayed in connection with her, we spoke over the phone for 2-3 weeks, never came back. Why? She tried everything she could for 40 years, and it worked because it helped a lot cope with the pain, but it never went. And this time it just went because the information was transmuted. Transmuted means liberated, and that's how Biomusic One works. It will help release the trigger point that is behind the source of the problem. And that's why I'm saying to you, when you talk to me about this, I get the information, yes, the trauma is definitely coming from there. It may not be the only one, but it's definitely coming from there. And if you're aware of it, that's enough to release it. But if it's not enough, then because it's not your reality, it's my reality to feel it. It may not be yours. So if it's not enough, because it becomes a belief system to give you the information, you see, then I would go for I Love One. Definitely, that's what was given to me when I asked the question when we were listening to the music. So Kinema is always a really good album in general for animals, that is for sure. It's very powerful to keep them really at peace and well in general. But sometimes we need to go further. And the I Love trilogy is very powerful. The I Love trilogy doesn't need to be played all the time. Sometimes just once or once a day is enough to release enough information and to reconnect the animal to what is essential, or people to what is essential to them. And that's sufficient for the problem to go. To give the meaning, to give the means to your body to actually release the stress. So that's how it works.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Jean-Louis, I'm going to have to run, but there's a couple things. So one is, are you going to send out the playlist? Are you going to give me the playlist so I could put it in the recap so people know which album the song came from? There were a couple of them. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I have that album. So I'm hoping you can share the playlist. And then number two is I please share when you end, please share with everyone to give us feedback on the experiences that they have in the next week, especially over the 4th of July holiday, so that we can, help you with your research, which you're doing such a generous gift here by giving us over an hour-long playlist, and I'm so grateful. And then three was this is a question that comes up, and I know that other people who are live now and those who are listening later might have, and it's what do you do when the music makes you irritable?
What do you do when the music?
Makes you irritable, like when you feel not in sync with the music, when the music makes you feel like, I don't like this.
Okay, it's yeah. There could be two reasons. The first one is if you don't like the music, you have an emotional reaction. It's perfectly normal, and this is why we always say with Biomusic One, do not worry about the fact that you like or not the music. This is not important. If the real cause is this, you will very quickly see that that phenomenon disappear. We had this once with a woman who bought an album, and she wrote back to me and she said, how can you rebalance people with this kind of music? She was used to listen to relaxation music. And I said to her, look, keep the album for now, let it play in inaudible mode, which means the music spread but you don't hear it. You put the volume very, very low, or you cut the speakers with headphone, for example, and you let it play. You play it in loop, and see what happens. Call me back in a week or 2 weeks or in a month. Let me know. And she called me back. She wrote back to me and we spoke over the phone. And she said, actually, after when I played it in inaudible mode, I felt different. And she said after a while I put the music back and it didn't bother me anymore. Okay, so this is quite interesting because there was an emotional reaction, but in fact for her, the album was spot on to actually release stress that really annoyed part of her. So it creates a reaction, it creates an emotional reaction, a negative reaction, because the body is releasing information that part of the person is holding on to. And this is a normal process as well. Sometimes it's very difficult to let go of things because it becomes a comfort zone for us. And because Biomusic One installed the right condition for this to happen very easily and very quickly, it can be disorienting for part of ourselves, and there could be a reaction. So if this happens, what I invite you to do, let's say you feel angry, or you feel discomfort, or you don't feel good about this, don't switch off. On the opposite, recognize what's going on inside yourself and let the information talk to you. Why am I feeling that way? Where is this coming from? Don't try with your mind to give it any sense or anything. Just let it come to you. And usually you'll see that very quickly when you practice that way, very quickly, when something is bothering you in life and you take it away, okay, I welcome this bothering inside me, and I'm going to live with it, and I'm opening myself to understand what is triggering it and what it is coming from. And usually you really open the door for to allow yourself to recognize where the problem is coming from, and then the transmutation occurs, you know. So I would really invite you to do that. I can see there are some I see Kara is saying that she had a lot of yawning. You left the camera, and effectively you at the beginning you were yawning quite a bit, and that's normal. It's good. No, it's great, because for me it was a really interesting. It's good feedback, because when we yawn like this, it means all the energy centers rebalance themselves. You know, it's quite common. So this is very good. And we got all kind of things as well, like Trina says, there's a seeing kaleidoscopic of colors. So your body decided to transmute using abstract ways, you know. So that's interesting as well. But what is important is, how do you feel at the end? You're feeling very relaxed, energized. This is a good point. Usually when we release stress, the result, the immediate result, is usually being at peace, being more present to oneself, and more energized, more vitality. This is really the bottom line, the basic beneficial effects, that we can feel. And from then on, it's a process with Biomusic One. From then on, there is an integration process, which means as we have released stuff, then we feel better, and then information flows freely in our body, and so we can become aware of what we need to change, or how we need to be, or how we need to what we need to say we didn't say, or there are different aspects of our lives that will change naturally without any effort. We don't need to have the will to change anything. It changes naturally because we reconnect to ourselves, and it's a normal process. As we reconnect to ourselves, we naturally going to manifest what we have inside us, and so naturally we are going to express ourselves as we need to, and not as our belief system made us behave before. Does that make sense? So that, I don't know if I express myself well, but this is basically how it works. And Biomusic One facilitates that process. We just need to observe, in fact, what really happens, and within ourselves, and then allow it to change. You know, this is what Biomusic One. This is a dynamic of life of Biomusic One, really. There are quite a lot of different feedback. Is there anything, if you see anything, Leah, that you think I should reply to, that I haven't noticed, please feel free to let me know. Nina, lay behind your channel in case. Ah, okay. Great. Well, I'm going to mention to you, you were saying, Leah, that I could give you the playlist. In fact, we are making the playlist available to you, because let's say if you do it by hand, it's not going to be very easy, because we have one album from series 1, then one album from series 2, another one from series 1, and so on and so forth. So it's not easy. So what we decided to do with Robert, it's a gift for you, for all you at SARA. We have created a private page for all you, for you all, on the website Biomusic One. We will send you the link and the credentials to connect to that page as soon as the sequence is ready to be listened to, and we'll make sure we do that before the 4th of July. And you can also connect to that page anytime you feel like it. Okay, Kimberly, for example, if you feel your dog is being affected again by some kind of situation where noise is triggering that trauma again, well, feel free to connect to that page, play it. It's free, it's available for you all, and we won't take it away. But it's really just for SARA members. So you will be given a username and a password, and you can connect to it whenever you like. And this is great because you don't have to worry about anything. You just press play and you let the music do the job. And because we create the sequence ourselves, the sequence have a special sound waveform that belongs to it. If you use a different album and you do it by hand, it is not the same at all. That's why we created it for you guys. So feel free to do that, and at the same time, I thought as well that it could be a good thing, because as you are within the Biomusic One website, if there is something that comes to mind and you think, oh, but why is this happening to me, or whatever, then you can quickly write to us. You know, there's a contact form, you have the link, you can quickly write to me, I receive it immediately. Or if you want to browse quickly, there's a page dedicated to animals, there are pages dedicated to the testimonials or to the scientific experiments and so on. You could get an answer very quickly. There's an FAQ. You can easily get an answer. It's quite easy to find and make sense to what you've been experiencing. So this is why we did it that way. So hopefully it will be useful to you, and I'll be very grateful if you could give us your feedback after the 4th of July. If this sequence has been helpful to you all. How was your animal friend? How did they react? How did they feel? This is very important for us because it helps us really fine-tuning the sequences and our work, so that we can reach a stage. I know in 2027 is going to be very different, because once we will reach 12 albums, 6 on the series 1 and 6 on the series 2, Biomusic One will reach another stage of efficiency, and it will be a lot more powerful to get results very quickly. So all the feedback you're giving us is very, very useful for us to move forward in that direction. So I say a big thank you in advance for you all, and I say a big thank you to all the people who will see the replay and hear me giving you that call. Do you have any question at all? What I will do is I will save the chat and read it carefully, and if I see something important to feedback that would be important to give you, I will send it to Leah, because I don't have your email addresses. I will send it to Leah, and she will be able to pass on that information to you. Or if you want to have a much quicker, no, it won't be like this, because I will read it. So we can do it that way, and then after that you can write to me directly, and we can exchange over the phone or over emails. I'm quite happy. I can go for free around the world. So if you feel that it's important to have a quick chat about whatever you're going through, with great pleasure. My time is very, very busy, but I always find the time if it's important to do that. So it will be with great pleasure. Are there any questions you would like to ask me, especially if you discover Biomusic One for the first time? Or is there anything you would like to, if you have written something and you're expecting me to give you a feedback, would you like to put just, yes please, get my message above, read my message above, because there's quite a few feedback. And voilà, thank you, Cara. Okay, there is another thing I'm going to do, an experiment I'm going to do with everybody now. If, for all of you that have stayed for so long, this is a little bonus. Usually, after having recognized what happened within yourself internally, and then you've written it on the chat, you have a double recognition inside yourself and outside yourself. And usually this is sufficient for a keyword to come to you. So I invite you to take just 1 minute for yourself, empty your mind, and let's see if there is a keyword that comes to you. And if it does, if a keyword comes to you, write it down on the chat, and then you will see, you will forget it. But this is not just a keyword, it's a vibration of that keyword will be with you within the next few hours and even the next few days. I've done this in the Biomusic One Club, and it's incredible the feedback we had. What happened to people during the week after the session really amazed me. And so it is really a vibrational exercise I invite you to do. Now, I'm not talking anymore. let's take a minute and let's see what comes to you if it hasn't yet. Great, this is wonderful. We've got quite a lot of words here. Brilliant. Okay, if nothing comes, doesn't matter, it may come later on. We don't want to let the mind find the word, just let it come naturally. And what I invite you to do now, if some word have come to you, is to allow the vibration of that word flow within you and let it do its work during the hours and the days to come. One day, if we can start the Biomusic One club in English language, we'll do that exercise every week, and you'll see it's quite amazing how it works. I'll share some feedback. We're doing a recap after doing the whole spring. We do the club by 12-week sessions, and then we observe these are special sequences that grow in the experience, and then we do a recap of everything, and it's quite interesting to see how those experiences have worked and how the keywords have worked as well. So it'd be nice to have a feedback from you if anything happened within balance, calm, curiosity, love, flowing joy, movement. You might find some movement in your life, for example, Genia, that an unexpected thing happened, peace, all this space within the fullness. All this is not just by chance. It has a meaning, a reason of having come out. Let it happen, and then we'll see. I really invite you to share it. You can use the form or write to me directly. In fact, I'll just write down you can directly email me on info at, what is it, at, on that keyboard. Biomusic1.com. There you go. You can write me directly to that. I always get those emails. Brilliant. Well, if you don't have any more questions, I think we will leave it at that. Leah will write to you as soon as the sequence is available on the page. We will give you the link, and we will give you the credentials to connect to that link. I hope it will be done before the end of the week, so you can prepare yourself. You can even try it beforehand, and it will be easy. If by any event whatsoever this was not possible, you never know, because I'm saying that because we can only do that when the time opens up for us to do that. We cannot just put music like this on a server without having the right let's say condition for that. So hopefully we can get them before the 4th of July. I don't see any problem in doing that, but in case, there will be the replay available, and you can just tune in to the moment we started it. It should work very well, but the sequence on our website will work a lot better because you will have master tracks from the server, and that makes a big difference as well. Tonight you have the master tracks from our server, and that's why it's really powerful. And also there is a group session as well that works very well. So do you have any question, anything you would like to ask? And if not, I will read very carefully everything you wrote and give some feedback for Leah to share with you. No question, no more feedback. Okay, Thank you for the thank yous, and I wish you a lovely day. I hope the 4th of July goes well for everybody. I'm sure it will. And let's keep in touch. I'll be really happy to keep in touch, and hopefully we'll do more meetings together, more reunions like this in the future with Leah. I really hope so anyway. Many thanks. Lots of love to you all, and see you again next time.